Shogayaki is one of the most popular pork recipes in Japan, right up there with Tonkatsu, or deep fried pork. Shogayaki is a dish with a thinly sliced pork loin from the shoulder or belly, seasoned with soy sauce, mirin, sake, ginger, onion and garlic, cooked in a pan in less than 15 minutes. It's one of those recipes you can throw together in minutes and then enjoy alongside a crispy cabbage, salad or rice. It's an easy recipe with a handful of ingredients, but the taste is definitely more delicious than the average pork recipe, so let's get to making it. Gather all of the ingredients and in a small bowl, grate the ginger, garlic and chop the onion and green onion or scallion. You can also mince the garlic and ginger or use a garlic press. Add the soy sauce, mirin, sake and sugar to the bowl and mix. There are several variations of this dish and some great alternative ingredients. You can skip the onion and garlic and only use ginger as the main flavoring ingredient. In some areas of Japan, people skip the mirin and only use soy sauce and sake. It's a lunchbox essential in Japan and one of the top lunch or dinner recipes. And that's because it's quick and simple to make and you can use cheaper cuts of meat. Usually Shogayaki is made with paper-thin sliced pork loin, belly or shoulder, but some people prefer to use chicken or beef, although it's not nearly as popular as pork, which pairs the best with ginger. Thus this ginger pork is all about bringing together the flavor of onion, ginger, garlic and the fermented rice-based alcohol of sake and mirin. Soy sauce is also added to bring in some savory saltiness. Now the thinner the pork slices, the better, because the sauce can enter the meat and infuse it with all that delicious flavor. If you want the sauce to stick to the meat better, you can add a light dusting of flour or potato starch. It will make it similar to sticky pork. And you can use a bit of miso paste in your sauce instead of soy sauce for a deeper fermented food flavor. This is not a very common substitute, but it brings the flavor up a notch and gives the meat a nutty and earthy taste. Now season the meat with just a little salt and pepper. Many people like to marinate the meat beforehand for about 30 minutes and then add the marinade's leftover juice to the pan as it cooks. And the best cut for this recipe is pork shoulder or loin, but the fatty belly is good as well. The cuts of meat don't have to be expensive, and since you're cutting them paper thin, it doesn't matter if there's a little bit more fat on them. Now grab a large non-stick pan and heat up the oil on medium-high heat. Add the onions and meat to the pan. Now cook the meat for about 4 minutes on each side. Make sure to stir the onions as well. Once the meat is brown, add the liquid ingredients you mixed earlier. Let it bubble away for a minute or two until the meat starts to caramelize, and then garnish with the scallion and serve. Now as soon as you start frying the pork in the pan, you'll smell the aromas of the ginger and sake, and it's so good you'll probably want to make this meal over and over again. Now thinly shredded cabbage is the most common side dish for ginger pork. No seasoning is added and usually the cabbage is eaten raw. If you want some flavor for the cabbage though, add a miso ginger dressing. The second most common side dish is fluffy white steamed rice. But you can also have a vegetable salad, as the pork is flavorful enough on its own. So you can just add a very light side dish. Now technically, shoga is the Japanese word for ginger and yaki means grilled or sautéed. So you can grill any type of meat this way and it still be called shogayaki. The full name of this dish is buta no shogayaki, because buta means pork. To serve, simply plate it with the rice and your side dish and serve it while hot. Now Shogayaki donburi refers to shogayaki served in a rice bowl. It's the same thing as ginger pork served with some rice on the same plate, but it's served in a bowl. You can mix the rice with the pork so the rice absorbs the flavors of the sauce. And to make this a complete meal, you can serve hot miso soup first and then the shogayaki with some rice and or a cabbage salad. Now initially, chefs decided to add ginger to mask the strong odor of pork meat. As you cook with pork, it can give off a strong smell and ginger makes it smell better. So it was specifically designed to be used with cheaper cuts of meat. The next time you're craving a meaty and slightly spicy Japanese meal, try this simple and quick staple pork recipe. And if you like meat dishes and have a little more time, you should check out this great Japanese beef curry as well. And be sure to check out our free new recipe book. I'll leave the link in the description.